In this video, we are going to break down some of Farah's results. She's been recently crushing it. She's got a ton of momentum behind her. And I just wanted to share with you guys some of the wins that she's been having. So, if you don't know who I am, Luke Anning, help coaches make a ton of money, start, grow, travel, be a bad bee, a bit like Farah. And we like changing lives. So that's what we're here to do, is to show how Farah's been changing lives and has changed her own life. So Farah, can you give us a bit of a background on you and your business?
Yeah, so I've been in the corporate world for the last 12 years. And I decided this summer that I wanted to, change lives, just like you do, Luke, but with a different perspective. So I've been working within neuroscience and neuromarketing for over a decade. And I wanted to take that knowledge with me and to implement it into mental health. So I had this strong urge to do that. And I decided July that I would quit my job and pursue this as like a big risk taker with no plan B. It was like, that was the plan. I'm just going to try it out, right? Tomorrow's not promised. So I just did it. I was scared. Like, I was so scared, but I just took the risk. And I was like, I know I can do this. And 2 weeks after that, I landed my first client, but then nothing happened. It's like, I was like on a high dopamine rush in the beginning, but there's like nothing happened. I was doing it the organic way on Instagram. And I even worked with an organic coach who told me I would go viral. And if I went viral, I would get clients. So clients would come to me. That did not happen. And I also started doing my international podcast July, as well as when I started my business. And that was a passion project. So I never thought of monetizing that. I was focused on my coaching business. And this coach also told me that, it's all related and he's going to get me clients through podcasting and stuff. So I invested in this coach and none of that happened. And then I bumped into you and I was trying to book calls and I was getting ghosted and I was having a hard time doing it organically, all of it. But then I bumped into you. And that kind of changed my life, like 360 circle around, if you can say that. Yeah. It's been a long time, right? We've been working together for like 3 months. It's not been a long time, but so much has happened in those 3 months, basically.
Right. 100%. Because before we started, what was the biggest bottleneck for you?
It was actually booking calls and people showing up to them calls. So I was struggling with that. I think I only booked like 2 calls before we started working together. And one of the calls, he did not even show up. So I had 1 call, which is like nothing for months, right? So I was kind of like a stuck coach. And I know you work with stuck coaches. I was like everything you just described when we spoke the first time. Nothing was happening. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how did that have an impact on your business, you not booking calls and getting ghosted?
It was impacting my self-confidence and actually self-doubting that if I made the right decision to start my business. I was doing posts and I was growing each day on Instagram, but very slowly. And like, no one was reaching out to me. And I didn't know how to DM. And I was kind of afraid of DMing as well. I was like afraid of everything. So it was affecting me a lot. I was stressed out to my kids. Like, it was affecting me in so many ways.
I hear you. So how have things changed since you bought into the program?
Well, it's even crazy when I say it out loud. When I share it with some friends, they're like, that's insane. So now I'm just crushing it. Like, I'm booking a lot of calls, aligned calls. So in the beginning, I booked too many calls and they were not kind of aligned. So I kind of crushed my whole fear of DMing. I know how to do that now. But now I'm actually choosing and picking my ideal clients. I don't want to work with everyone because those are my ideal clients. So now I'm actually booking qualified calls, which means I'm getting them as clients in my program. So from going from 1 client to now 8 clients is like in like a short amount of time, in like 2 months time. That's like insane. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
unbelievable, insane. Like,
I know, like you mentioned, like it was important for you to get past that fear of booking calls. But then, like, once I showed you how to book calls, you booked like what, 10 in like
yeah, yeah, true.
it's like
And they go, I booked that calls for the day. I know. It's like insane.
you like literally beat my personal record for booking calls in a day. So I was just like, let's go. Like, let's
Yeah.
go. So right now you're like gunning towards smashing through the 10K a month barrier, right? Like that's the mini goal.
I'm getting close. So the first time ever in your program, last month I made 3.3K, and now I'm at 7K. Sorry, 7K. So I've kind of more than doubled it. And it's only like at the beginning of February. So I'm like, why not just, I mean, go 10K this month? Why not? Like that is my goal, and or beyond, right? Always thinking bigger, which I've learned from you.
I'm curious for you as well with your pricing. Your pricing has gone up because you signed one of your highest priced sales the other day, right? Compared to when you started. So what's the difference that's happened with your pricing now?
Again, with the same as qualifying calls, you also qualify your pricing, because now you have more self-confidence than that like you are worth that price. So being confident and having, payment plans, so people, of course, it's affordable, but having those options, also having a plan for that actually makes it easier. So many of my clients are actually on monthly plans, which is fine, but they can afford it and I get my money. So like everybody's happy, and yeah, so it feels amazing, basically.
Yeah, it's like you've got like your own like salary from like your coaching business, right?
Yeah, for the first time ever, I can actually say yes to this. Yes.
And aren't you going to be like traveling to Rome or something like that?
Yeah, I wanna, so on my vision board, which you made me make, it's lots of traveling. Yeah, so I'm taking some time off. Just it's like the weekend trip. I live in Europe, so I live in Denmark, so everything is very close. Yeah, I want to travel, and I also want to do traveling and business as well. Even though I'm a single mom, it is possible if you arrange everything and plan things out. I want to experience the world while doing what I love every day. So with coaching business, you can actually, just like you do, you can travel, you can relocate, like be working online. I also have some persons in person coaching now, some games, which is amazing. But like you have the flexibility to do so. So yeah.
Yeah, and I love you for who you are, because you not only work really hard, but also at the same time, like you'll say it how it is to people, which is why you've signed clients. But I'd be curious, going off of the back of that, what do you think stops most people from achieving the types of results that you've had?
I think they're too afraid. Like I just take risks, and you give me an advice, I just go and implement it. I don't overthink it. So I think people just overthink things too much instead of just doing it. They kind of procrastinate on themselves. So I just have a story that maybe inspired people. It's like a client. So he told me he's not going to work with me because he couldn't decide. Right? I shared this story with you, and and I was like, okay, you're miserable, you're depressed, and you can't decide. So you're going to push what's most important to you to make a change. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You can keep self-sabotaging and be miserable, or you can take action with me. So how about like let's start this Friday? And then he was like, oh my God, you convinced me. And yeah, you're so right. I can't make any decisions because I am depressed. Thank you for pushing me. And this is the push that I needed. So I say things like that. Sometimes people can take it and sometimes they can. But it's the truth, right? When you are depressed, it's kind of hard to make any decision because you're very overwhelmed. Like I've been there myself, so I know how that feels. Yeah. And sometimes it becomes too much, but I will always try like to speak the truth. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, same to me. Same to me. I think people can get caught in the industry where it's like, oh, this person's being pushy, but when you know your program's going to change their life and you know that that's what they need, or they'll stay there for another 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Like some of our clients have had coaching businesses for 10 years. Some of them are fresh like you
Mm.
to come in and this process and to do the work. We know that you guys are going to crush it. So I'm curious for you, what is your favorite part about the program?
Your program. Yeah, okay. I thought you referred to mine. Okay. It's always about selling yourself, right? Okay. So I love that you're a huge action taker. Like everything you have in your course is like you can go and implement it right away. I love that because I'm a big action taker myself. And I love that I can literally like see, like do a objection handling or sales training and actually go and practice it. I love that about your program. It's very hands-on. It's very practical. And I think many coaches are stuck because they don't have systems or funnels or the right training. They just try their way and maybe it works for a time, but then things change. And they just keep going in the same road, just like I did, right? So yeah, I did book one call, get one client, and then I was stuck for like a long period of time. So you have to switch things when you're stuck, right? It means you need to change things up. And yeah, so I think I love that about your program. You have a system and funnel, and now I have like all the foundation for my business, which I didn't have. I didn't have the knowledge either of building my own coaching business, didn't have any expertise. So yeah, it made a lot of sense to work with you, who's already done it and helped so many. So learning and growing each day in your program for sure.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So why did you specifically choose to work with us or work with me?
Well, I really like your personality. Like you say things as they are. So I kind of mirror myself. I love your content. Like you really speak to those stuck coaches and that there is a solution. There is actually a ticket out. You don't have to feel stuck or do the same things the organic way and have a slow death of growing, you know? Like there are other ways to do things. And that really resonated with me. But I did follow you for a while before I signed up. I was like checking you out. So,
Yeah. And I think just to say what you were saying, because I think sometimes people think like ads, you have to like spend a ton of money. You really spent like barely anything on ads.
I spend like $60 a week and I get like 400 or 500 new followers a week, which means potential clients because they're coming from my ads that speaks directly to them. And then I go book calls, meaning I'm landing new clients. That's actually how it works. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm so pumped for you. I'm so pumped for you to get a setup. Like you're really not that far off. So let's keep it going. So last question is, what would you say to someone who is on the fence about joining the program?
On the fence, meaning like they just need the last thing to like jump over. Okay. I would say get out of your comfort zone and take that risk because it's worth it. And yeah, it will feel uncomfortable because every change is uncomfortable. It's a very normal reaction to the brain. But then you have this satisfaction coming, you know, over you. Just like I felt like I was like, okay, I'm going to invest all this money. But yeah, and I'm taking this risk, but I felt very aligned with my decision. Yeah, then it felt good. Like fear was like only for like a few seconds, but then like, you know, it got over. Yeah. Never regretted it. When I take a decision, I don't look back. And I obviously did the right thing. So
There you go. There's the mindset to have. So Farah, I appreciate your time today. If people want to check out you or like drop in for a message or anything like that, where would be the best place for them to reach you?
I would say Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, you can always reach me there, but I also have a YouTube channel, also called the same name, for our neuroscience. And yeah, you can also find me on LinkedIn with my name. So yeah, but I usually use Instagram, where I post a lot of content daily. So you can get lots of brain hacks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome. With that said, Farah, appreciate your time today on this interview. And yeah, if anybody's considering joining, like there you go. There's your message from Farah to take some action and get out of your comfort zone. Appreciate you, Farah. Like, subscribe, do whatever you guys need to do. And we'll see you in the program. Like I said, guys, if you took anything valuable from that, if you thought, wow, Farah's absolutely crushing it, and rather than do it by myself, I want to just bite the bullet, get out of my comfort zone and take a ton of action, then drop into the calendar link down below, book a call. It'll be more like an enrollment call. It's not going to be a sales call. It's literally just going to be me, you, and we're just getting you started and getting you what you need. In terms of anything else that you have questions on, if you still have questions, drop me a message on Instagram. But otherwise, let's get you going, and we'll see you in the call booking link down below, and I will see you there. Peace and love.